Okay. All right. Your shoes, the platform is so tall.
I love it.
It's like resting on my shin.
On your shin.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of According to Your Wife.
It's according to my wife. That's the name of the episode.
Right.
That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not your. It is according to my wife.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's true.
the way you said it wasn't grammatically incorrect.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to another episode of According to My Wife.
But I don't like that as an intro. That's weird. Just it sounds too like radio.
Monotone.
I don't know. Just this is a podcast, man. This is not a radio program.
I was just trying to be professional.
We are professional. Look at us. Look how professional we look.
Very true. Yeah.
I've never looked more professional in my life in this green hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is the right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you not feel good about it?
No, I feel okay. I just want to make sure it's picking up my voice.
Oh, it's picking
properly.
up your voice. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's proper.
Okay.
It's proper.
Good.
These are amazing microphones. This is industry standard podcast and radio microphone.
Ooh, okay.
When I was on the radio a couple weeks ago, this is the microphone.
What?
Yes.
All right.
I told you, I know what I'm doing here with audio recording.
Yeah.
I've been recording audio for 20 years.
Yeah.
Babs, 20 years.
All right.
No one cares, but
No.
I have been doing that.
Okay.
So these are good. It's definitely picking up your voice just fine.
Good.
And I think if you listen to our podcast, you would agree the audio quality is pretty good.
I've listened to quite a few. I actually think I've listened to all of them.
I certainly hope you have.
I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
It's only 12 episodes, which I don't know, only 12. That's a lot of episodes.
Is this 13?
This is 13.
Ooh.
Is this the lucky one or the unlucky one?
I don't know.
Do we get a divorce after this podcast?
It's very likely.
Yeah, there's a real chance that could happen.
Yeah.
We're recording in the morning again.
Yeah, which is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's a lot better today than last week after, a bottle of wine each.
Yeah, we drank quite excessively last week.
Yeah.
But now
we
are on a 30-day
challenge.
No booze.
No booze.
For 30 days and going to the gym every day.
And healthy
for 30
diets.
days. And healthy diets.
That's right.
Although that wasn't really necessarily discussed.
Well,
the
it's
initial
just
challenge,
implemented. I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer.
The initial challenge was no booze and the gym every day.
Yeah, but I feel like you have to incorporate like a healthy diet if you're going to achieve anything.
Yeah, or going to the gym is totally pointless.
Yeah,
If we
exactly.
go to the gym every day, but I just eat pizza and Del Taco,
Yeah.
it makes no difference.
No, so today will be day 7 straight of going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I finally feel really good.
Good, me too.
Yes, it took a while. There were days where I was like, I don't want to go. Like, this is stupid and I hate the gym. But after I leave the gym, I feel amazing.
The gym sucks.
The gym
The first
sucks.
like 15 minutes at the gym, you're like, I hate this. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Exercise is dumb. I'd rather be fat and die younger.
Yes.
And then after that first 15 minutes, you're like, all right, this isn't that bad.
It's funny when you get older and you start to gain a little bit of weight. It's like a little bit harder to get that weight off. We're pushing 40.
Yeah.
And we're finally at that point in our lives where our bodies are like, we're going to hold on to this little bit of chub that you've acquired. And it doesn't want to let go.
No, it does not. It sticks
weird.
to the bones.
It does. Yeah.
I've always had like lightning fast metabolism.
Oh, me too.
forever.
I literally could eat whatever I wanted all the time. Didn't
too.
matter. And I was always thin. But I also think I like you, had a lot of energy, like as a younger child or teenager.
Even as a young adult.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I skateboarded forever. So for me, that was kind of how I stayed in shape a little bit, which is funny because I didn't ever realize that. I never thought about what I was doing as being like a physical activity, as like exercise. I just liked skating.
Yeah.
And I shredded, dude.
Well, same with like going out and hanging out with friends, like as a teenager and a young adult, like it made me realize like we were on the go all the time.
Constantly.
Here, there, wherever.
Yeah.
And it's not like most of it didn't involve sitting around eating food. So
No, it
it's like,
doesn't.
that's why I was probably so thin. Like
Right.
we were just always on the go.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's well, and also I just think when you're younger, you just have a faster metabolism. It just moves through your body quicker. And now we're getting up there and it's a little slow. The metabolism is a little slow.
Yeah.
I would have it's funny because I feel like I'm going to get results at the gym like quickly. Like today will be day 7. So we've gone 6 days in a row.
Yeah.
And I thought I would have shed a couple pounds already. No.
I think we both each gained a pound.
Well, I lost a pound or something at first, like a pound, maybe 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I gained a pound back.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, why am I even measuring in like singular pound increments? Like
I'm not even looking at the scale.
It's
right
not
now.
even substantial until you've lost like 10 pounds or something. But I feel better already.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I am feeling better. There's less like bulkiness in my clothing, which is a huge thing. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like your body just like you need to like get rid of some of that like the bloating and whatever else your body is doing when you're not eating healthy. And like that's for me, that's the biggest thing is like I've noticed like I'm not puffy.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel like I look better.
I feel skinny, but I'm not.
On the scale, there's no evidence.
Yes, no.
The number doesn't back up how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But is it really the number? Is the number the important part?
No, I'm learning that it's not because I weigh more than I probably ever did as a adult, like a younger adult, but I have to admit that I don't mind it. I just want to like be in shape. Like I don't care if I maybe shed like 15 pounds. I feel like that would be like appropriate. And I've learned that as an adult, like I am like a little curvier than I ever thought I was in the past. And because of that, like I think it's okay to like have a little bit of meat on my bones and like accept that because it's how my body is supposed to look. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think there was at least one period where you were a little too thin.
I was obsessed with being healthy, and I didn't know that that's what it was. I didn't know.
Well, I think you were just obsessed with being skinny and like.
No, it actually wasn't skinny. I literally was like, I can't eat this. It's not healthy. I can't eat that. That's not healthy. It's not organic. It's not this. It's not that. It was so crazy in my head that I like wasn't allowing myself to do anything fun food wise because I was so obsessed with it being not good for my body.
Right.
And which it came to a point where it was like, that's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. Being too healthy can be unhealthy.
It was like obsessive.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to enjoy living at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And for us, I think food has always been a big part of that. Like when we celebrate, we go out and celebrate with a good dinner.
Yeah.
I love food.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen my TikTok, you know, I love food.
Yeah.
I ate so many tacos, but I can't. It's tough to do that now. But here's one of my main motivations with going to the gym is to be able to occasionally eat like shit and live life a little bit. Because I don't know what's going on right now, but I have this like weird obsession with like thinking about how I used to be just carefree in the past.
You're like obsessed with it.
I can't get it out of my head. There were these times in my life where it just nothing seemed too important.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a problem. Maybe I shouldn't have been living like that. But I think back about that now and I'm like, I used to just be able to just smoke weed and chill, kick it with the homies, eat whatever the hell I wanted, drink. And all those things are bad. They're self-destructive. I know they are. But like, I so desperately want to be self-destructive again. But I'm at the age now where I know like it could kill me now.
Yeah.
Because now we're at that point now where people, you know, some people we know are having serious health problems or pass away because of like bad decisions that they made throughout their lives that they didn't correct.
I definitely know some people that are struggling with health issues.
Yeah.
People I went to high school with, people I knew when I was younger. And it's crazy.
It's crazy
because that's where we're getting to in our lives where it's like, okay, when you start getting to a certain age, like you need to start taking care of yourself. If you don't, then it's literally you're just going downhill like for the remainder. Like once you get a certain point, like it's really hard to like undo a lot of that. So if you're like in your mid 40s and you haven't started changing your lifestyle, like it's even harder then.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I feel like when you're younger, I feel like some of this stuff, like going to the gym and like being fit and all that stuff, I feel like maybe not all of it. Some people are just aware that it's just a healthier way to live. But I think like a lot of it is vanity related. People want to have a nice body. They want to look good with their shirt off, that type of stuff. But then when you get a little bit older, going to the gym and maintaining a healthy lifestyle and being more fitness oriented is about maintenance and preservation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we're like, now it's like, all right, I don't want to be. You see some people who are in their, you know, let's say late 60s, early 70s, who are just falling apart. And then you see some people,
others,
who are really well put together and are still fully there mentally and physically into their later days.
Like your mom and my grandpa Buddy.
Yeah, perfect
They're
examples.
such great examples. Like Grandpa Buddy's, and he just turned 80.
80.
Would you ever imagine?
I would have never thought he was 80.
It's amazing.
If you would have asked me how old I thought he was, I would have been like, like late 60s, early 70s.
Yes.
That dude is 80.
80. And he
and
is
still
just
kicking, dude.
Yes. He is like on fire. Like
on fire.
Yeah. He doesn't just sit around and do nothing. Like that
No.
guy is constantly moving, constantly doing things.
He's chasing squirrels off.
Yeah.
He's giving peanuts to blue jays.
Yeah.
That guy is living life.
He is.
He is. But yeah, that's how. But also, here's where I'm torn. I'm torn because I'm like, okay, how much more time am I going to gain for myself by being so focused on not doing the fun things or the enjoyable things that life has to offer? Am I going to get to a point in my life, my older days, where I go, I still had a lot in me to have fun and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I chose not to. Am I going to regret that? Because I want to be able to have a cocktail. I want to be able to smoke a cigar.
I think you're overanalyzing and obsessing on a very finite part of this whole process. I think that you, in the long run, because you will potentially avoid having a heart attack at 40 or avoid having diabetes by the time you're 50. I think those are the things you need to focus on, and not like, what kind of fun did I miss out on? Maybe like every few months you need to get blacked out wasted, smoke one cigarette, puff of a joint, and eat like 4 tacos.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
The problem is I know I have self-control issues with all of those things.
Yeah.
Except alcohol. For some reason, alcohol, I've never had a problem with self-control.
Yeah.
I can drink casually and socially and not just like go off the deep end. If I were to, I haven't smoked weed in about 3.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to take one hit of a joint, one time, like even at like an environment that's not like a regular environment, because that's how it happened last time. I took one hit of a joint at a Chance the Rapper concert at Red Rocks, and it was the greatest concert that I've ever seen in my life.
Because you were stoned?
It was really good in general. Chance the Rapper is
okay.
like, that guy is almost like a modern day Michael Jackson. The guy is just
Wow.
an insane live performer, just so good. But that joint, I mean, really, really, really amplified it a lot. And I was like, and then I have this like cyclical thing in my mind where I'm like, oh, I can smoke weed. It just has to be in a certain environment. It's okay if I smoke weed to amplify the environment, you know what I mean? Or like increase like the intensity of the experience that I'm having. I'm like, if I'm at a concert, I'm at a concert. I'm not at work.
Yeah.
I'm not doing something terribly important. I'm here physically at this place no matter what. What difference does it make if I'm stoned to like increase the experience or not? And then I start going, well, but I could do that on the weekend too when I'm just at home. And then all of a sudden,
well, that's when you have developed a problem.
I know. I have that addictive and weed is one of those things. I have that addictive personality, and so is food. I cracked the seal, and that's why I haven't been going out and eating tacos recently, because I know once I crack the seal, it's game over.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back to eating. When I was doing those TikTok videos, and look, a lot of it was because I was gaining traction and it was working online. Ironically, still the most successful thing I've ever done on the internet is make taco videos for TikTok.
So random.
It's so random. But I would go hit 3-4 places a day. And I would go,
are you serious?
Yeah, there were times where
a day?
Yes. There was one time where it was like we hit like taco rock bottom. Me and Jeremy went out, we went to all these places, and the last place we went to was a taco stand under a freeway bridge.
That might be the best taco stand ever, though.
I mean, it was good, but it was also like, it also felt like just one of those like montages of like people doing drugs and slowly sliding downhill.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're under a bridge with tacos. Like, what has happened in our lives?
Yeah.
But a lot of that, I was like, I told him, I justified it by going, same thing. It's this justification process. I was like, oh, I'm doing it for content. I'm making money off TikTok doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't, I liked it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I have self-control issues.
Yeah.
So it slides downhill.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at the point now where I'm like, I have to, I don't know, this thing that we're doing right now, maybe we even just continue it longer than 30 days. Because even a 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was realizing I was setting these small goals, and then once I hit the goal, I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I can't be done.
For me, this 30-day challenge is more about a jump start in getting myself to feeling better and like losing a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
But after the 30 days is over, like I don't plan on just like going right back to not ever working out. Like this is kind of my way of jump starting. And then after the 30 days, we can kind of incorporate a little bit more of like a maybe 4 days a week instead of every single day. Cause it is kind of hard to get into the gym every single day for 30 days.
It's hard. Yeah.
But it's important because I want to get that like routine kind of like in my brain that like we've got to do this.
I think that's what the 30 days is. Like it
is
the jump
it's
start
to create that routine inside your mind. And
and it's to break down that barrier of like getting like just physically going to the gym and even walking inside when you haven't been in a while. Sometimes it's like it feels foreign or intimidating a little bit. And then when you go so many times like that in a row, you break that down. Yeah,
like yesterday was the first time that I've ever like really felt comfortable where I was like, I'm not even focusing on anything else, nobody else, nothing that's going on. Like I'm just focusing on myself, even at a point where like I finished before you had finished and I was just kind of like walking around, just like do. I didn't care. I didn't really feel it. I didn't have that like weird, like everyone's staring at me and I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to be here. Like I felt fine.
When you first start going, it's a very weird kind of self-conscious experience.
Yeah.
That you're like, I look dumb. I'm the out of shape guy. I'm the out of shape person in the gym. Everyone here is in shape. Look at them. They're doing goblin squats or like whatever.
I don't even know what that is.
It's just, you can tell when you first start going, you're like, oh, these people are advanced.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You see like these people that they're very fit and very fit bodies, or they look strong, or they're squatting like 300 pounds, whatever. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I'm over here. I'm the weak person here.
But then when you start to get used to it, you're like, oh, everybody's at a different phase, a different point, and like no one cares.
And they're all just focused on what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish.
Which is what I've kind of started doing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
literally, I was like, I did the stair thing for only 5 minutes because it's freaking hard.
Yeah.
But then afterwards I was like, I don't care. Like,
and no one else cares either.
Yeah, no one was like, hey, you only did it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally no one cares. No one's paying attention. So it doesn't matter.
Especially at Planet Fitness. Because nobody wants to be at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
It's just what we all can afford.
I don't care. It's not that bad.
So the last thing we're going to do is judge people who are there.
Yeah.
No, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I actually kind of like it because you're getting like a different vibe. Like I don't want to go to a place where people are like super crazy like gym people where it's like this is a way of life and this is you know what I mean? Like
Planet Fitness feels a little more like working class, regular people.
Yes.
You know, it's not so, because for a while I had a 24-hour fitness membership. And honestly, comparatively, it's not even that much nicer of a gym.
Yeah.
Like in general, some places they have like pools and stuff like that. But for the most part, I didn't like that gym.
Yeah.
I didn't like it because there were dudes there in like the super skinny whatever tank tops that are all jacked and they're grunting and and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Planet Fitness felt a little more like, oh, these are regular people.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Like these are the people that will also be eating at the Chipotle across the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Also something that's been really helping, and I'm not like afraid to like say things like this, and I think it's actually important to be open about things, but like I was taking antidepressants for anxiety for I counted it was 14 months. I've successfully weaned myself off, and I actually have to say that going to the gym every day has been so helpful for like mental health.
Yeah.
I never realized that. I never understood like what is the connection there, but it actually like really helps. And I'm like feeling so good. And I definitely like encourage anyone that maybe is like suffering from wanting to like stop taking something, like definitely incorporate like a healthier lifestyle and you will see a huge change.
Yeah, it's that endorphin release.
It is, yeah.
A lot of that just when you sit around and you're stagnant and you're not moving and you're sedentary, like it's easier for you to just kind of get lost in your own brain and your own thoughts.
Totally.
And when you're active and you're busy, I think it's one of the reasons why I'm obsessed with being busy so much.
Yeah.
I feel like if I sit down and I overthink things, like it makes me not want to do things. I'll talk myself out of doing certain things.
Yeah.
Where otherwise, if I'm busy and I know I'm staying active, like everything physically, career wise, goal wise, all that stuff, as long as I keep moving, I don't slow down. But the second I stop moving, all of a sudden it's like I second guess a lot of things.
Yeah, I actually like staying busy myself. I get really bored if there's nothing to do. Even a simple thing as like running like 2 errands, like the grocery store and another store or whatever. Like that is a great way for me to like not be sitting.
Yes.
Because once I'm like at home sitting, I feel like, what do I do? And then I like kind of want to like snack while I watch something. And so that's also something I'm learning too, is like to not allow yourself to get in those like modes where you're like just sitting there thinking. Like I'm reading that book about, I don't even know what it's called, but about like good healthy habits. And that's one thing they say is keep yourself busy, even if you're like sitting around doing nothing, watching TV. Crochet, do a puzzle, do whatever. Keep your hands busy. That way, instead of wanting to snack, you're focusing on something else while you're like watching something or whatever.
I feel like that's why, like, even though we've been going to the gym, why I haven't lost any pounds, because yesterday I ate a whole bowl of hot Cheetos while I was sitting there watching TV.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do that.
No.
Really didn't.
Well, then allow yourself to have just the serving size. Look on the back and see what the serving size is.
Have you ever looked at a serving size of hot Cheetos?
It's like 12.
7.
Oh.
You're like, that's not satisfactory at all.
Well, then I would give myself 8.
But then you think about the amount of servings that you've had sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So for the longest time, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
One of the last times when I was in Colorado trying to lose weight, I thought I was getting those salad kits, right? You know, like the full salad in a bag. And I would just make the whole salad.
Yeah, it's really more like 2 or 3 servings.
I just made the whole salad, and it's like 3.5 servings.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at it, I was like, I just ate 3.5 people's worth of salad. And that was, I was like, is that healthy?
I don't know.
And then you start doing the math, you start multiplying by like 3, and I'm like, oh, this is not good at all.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to eat, I would make the giant bowl, like
Yeah.
the whole salad bowl.
Yes.
And I'd eat the whole salad.
That's pretty funny.
I thought it was good though. I was like, I'm eating salad.
Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing wrong with eating lots of salad, is there? Apparently
there is.
can be.
I think mostly what it is the dressing.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough about all that. What are we learning about today, Babs?
Okay, so today we're going to learn about the history of the toilet.
The history of the toilet.
Yes.
Okay.
So, the reason I chose
We're back
this,
on farts and poop again.
Okay, let me just say that for some reason on my Pinterest, I came across like really cool, pretty toilets that I like didn't.
Oh yeah, I've seen you sharing these toilets
on my stories
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're like Gucci toilets.
they're so cool.
Yeah.
They are the prettiest toilets I've ever seen, and I just like. I don't know. I just thought they were so neat. So I wanted to like share those with people. And like, I was surprised that some people would like write me and be like, that's the coolest toilet I've ever seen. And like, so our friend Whitney
Yes.
actually wrote me and she said something about like, or commented on my story a little while back and was like, I feel a toilet episode coming up. And I told her, I was like, that's a great idea.
And now here we are.
And here we are.
Thanks, Whitney.
Thank you, Whitney.
Thanks, Whitney, again, because that's how we met.
Yes.
We met through Whitney.
We did meet through Whitney.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here we are.
Here
Whitney
we are.
is
Full
still
circle.
influencing our lives.
Yes. I don't know
okay.
if that's actually a full circle, but.
Okay, but how rare is it that you see a toilet that's not just a standard white toilet?
So that's actually something that was intriguing to me when I came across these toilets on Pinterest. And I was like, wait a second. They don't have to just be like a basic white, boring toilet. Like you can have like terracotta looking toilets or like cool paintings on toilet. Like they are just, I should actually post some of those on our stories
I remember
on Instagram so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you should. At Modus's house, Modus's mom had a black toilet.
Wow.
Yeah, and it always tripped me out because it was
Yes.
something that I never thought about ever.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time being there, I was like, "You got a black toilet, dude."
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's not though.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be weird.
It's not, or it shouldn't be, but it is because
Yeah.
why is the standard white?
Of all colors too.
I'm sure there's a reason, which I don't get into.
Well, I'm sure maybe it's like a cleanliness thing for bleach and stuff, but
Yeah,
like
maybe.
yeah.
But it's also like ceramic, so it's like, or porcelain. I don't know.
I feel like one of the first things that we will get if we ever somehow get money is a cool toilet.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm totally
I want
on
cool
board.
toilets in
Yeah.
every room.
Yeah.
Or bathroom, not
In every room.
No.
I want a cool toilet in the corner of the bedroom.
Yeah.
I want one in the closet. I
Yeah.
want one in the kitchen.
Okay, so the history of the toilet.
All right.
Everybody uses a toilet, and for as long as there have been people urinating and defecating, there have been forms of toilets. Today, we are going to learn a little bit about those ancient commodes. Starting in Pompeii, after the destruction of the city of Pompeii from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, archaeologists have unearthed 15 toilets inside the upper floors of some of the homes there. While their toilets were private, their waste all collected into a stinky cesspit. Sewer systems had been created in that time, but only to carry away excess rainwater and not human waste.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's gross.
yeah, I think about you're obsessed with the 1800s and you always talk about how if you could time travel, that's where you would go back to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no like real working plumbing in the US.
That's not true.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
for the
in the
most,
U.S.?
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the most part, because I know
Yes.
when you say 1800s, you're talking
Yeah.
about like the West or whatever.
To some degree. I mean, London in the 1800s would be cool too.
Right, but you're obsessed with like the Oregon Trail and like
Pioneer life.
pioneer life,
Yes.
which is uniquely American 1800s.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Outhouses, stuff
yeah,
like that.
That's true.
I'm like,
I don't think about all those little details when I think 1800s. I'm like, oh, I want to wear cool clothes.
I think about those details.
Yeah.
So me and excuse me, me and Soph were playing The Last of Us. It's for anyone who doesn't know, it's an apocalypse game.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about it yesterday. We are just like, imagine how bad the apocalypse smells.
Oh yeah, because there's no
running
nothing.
plumbing,
Yeah.
everything. It was just like, imagine the
Ew.
flies, the insects.
Ew.
Yeah, and Sophie was like, you could literally be eaten by a zombie and you're worried about flies and the smell. I'm like, yeah, I would notice that.
Do zombies go to the bathroom?
I don't know. That's an existential question. Here, we had an idea. We want to incorporate all modern popular types of movies,
Yeah.
crossovers with zombies. So like Forrest Gump, zombie.
Well, they've kind of done that with some things. There's like Pride and Prejudice, like zombie version.
Right, there's a few.
There's like Abraham Lincoln, like Vampire Slayer or something.
There's a few, but like I almost think it would be like, okay, like 80s teen movie, right? Like those old like John Landis movies. Zombies.
I think it's actually John Hughes.
John Landis, someone else. John Hughes, the old John Hughes movies, zombies. Like Breakfast Club.
I was just going to say The Breakfast Club.
But with zombies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Anyway, toilets.
So anyway, yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know.
Medieval,
this is what we do here. We tangent. We go hard left.
Medieval castles had several bathrooms with a toilet similar to what we would all be used to today, except instead of a sewage system, the waste would fall down a long shaft down the exterior of the castle and into a moat or rivers.
Can you imagine that? Just dumping and just like
you're just
40
walking
feet?
by and there's just something sliding down the castle wall.
I just think it would be weird to just like you're way up here and you dump and it just falls 40 feet.
Yes,
I don't know.
Ugh. Other castles had internal shafts that left all the waste at the bottom for some poor soul to clean out. This unfortunate job title was called a gong farmer in England.
A gong farmer.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't go into that. They worked during the evening hours so that they would not offend others with their disgusting job duties. The medieval toilet...
that's a shitty job.
Yeah. The medieval toilet would be a wooden bench above a stone hole where gravity did most of the work in guiding the waste to its intended location. Some royals found that building toilets with shafts that led outside would be an easy way for unwanted guests to enter the castles. Could you imagine, like, shimmying up a poop shaft?
Oh.
Like,
oh.
Yeah.
That sounds
so you
awful.
can rob some jewels from some king.
I mean, that's some serious motivation.
Yeah.
If you're down to do that. If you successfully do that,
yeah,
you've earned it.
Yeah.
I feel like you deserve
what if the
you
bathroom
stole.
started smelling really bad and they're like, this is unusual, and there was like a dead guy just wedged in the poop shaft?
Oh God.
I know.
This is a
really gross subject.
This is a really gross subject.
I'm sorry.
First thing early in the morning.
I know.
I'm drinking coffee over here.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, this all goes hand in hand with toilets. So.
Well, clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the main purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, some castles were built in such a way that the waste would be jutted out over steep cliffs or into oceans. Medieval bathrooms smelled awful, and sometimes there would be no doors, so the smell... Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a sentence. Medieval bathrooms smelled awful, and because of that, there would usually be dried herbs hanging to distract one from the smell.
Just smelled like ass and sage.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And sometimes there would be no doors, so the smell would not linger. So it was just wide open.
Oof.
Yeah. So instead of lingering around you, it would just linger around everyone else in the vicinity of the area.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope these were far away from the medieval feasts.
Ew, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Local farmers would often collect human waste and use it as fertilizer.
Okay.
The worst part of
that's resourceful.
Yeah, that's also so gross.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. These potatoes.
It's like The Martian.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
These are Matt Damon shit potatoes.
That's right. Yeah. The worst part of medieval bathrooms would have to be the toilet paper, which was just a handful of hay.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like literally.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
A handful of hay.
Yeah.
Do you think they sold hay bales at Costco in the medieval times?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. See, okay. The apocalypse
Yeah.
must smell terrible. But pretty much every time in history, up until modern times, must have smelled even worse.
Yeah.
I feel like we're these are things that we in modern times take for granted, for sure.
There you go. Yeah.
There's so many things I complain about. I got to stop complaining.
You really do.
Because at least I don't got to dump into a 40-foot shaft that smells terrible. You know?
Yeah. And wipe with hay.
Yeah. I will never complain about a public bathroom ever again.
Right?
How pissed would you be, though, if you were on a road trip and you had to use a public toilet like at a gas station and instead of toilet paper there was just a bale of hay?
Yeah, good thing medieval times the restaurant didn't go so far as to have like medieval bathrooms.
Oh, that would have been overcommitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a wooden hole with some hay.
Yeah, and some guy down there scooping everything up.
Dude, and you're like, hey, you're out of toilet paper. And they're like, we don't. What is toilet paper?
Yes.
There's plenty of hay.
Yeah. Yeah. In Italy, there were public restrooms in the ancient days, and these consisted of about 20 holes in the stone, all side by side, so you could move your bowels with your pals.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, just a bunch of people just lined up next to each other.
Just group dumping.
Yeah. Toilet paper.
I wonder what the stigma, like, I wonder if it was like, because there are certain things that like back in the day weren't weird that now are weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was like a weird thing. Like if people were like, they were like, no, I want to do that in private. Or they were like, no, I gotta take a shit. So I'm just going to go next to, what's an
I'm sure there were
Roman name?
No, that's the volcano.
We're never going to.
Thaddeus.
It's always Thaddeus.
I don't know. Okay, so I actually wonder if there was like that one person that like chose the hole at the very end because they were like, I don't want to sit next to everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe they had like social
That's
anxiety.
the rule. That's the rule in the men's room. If there's X amount of open urinals, you always leave space. Unless you have no choice. If you're at like a football game, or a baseball stadium or whatever, you got to do it.
Oh, you got to do what?
I mean, if there's only one urinal in between a bunch of other dudes.
Oh, well, yeah,
do
obviously.
Otherwise, the rule is you leave a space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toilet paper in that time was a community sponge on a stick that was passed around.
Oh, community sponge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shared ass
No,
wiping apparatus?
It didn't specify in the article I read whether it was like cleaned between people. So I'm not really sure.
Oh, man, that'd be a terrible job, too.
What is a sponge made out of back then? I don't know. It's probably a rag on a stick.
Hay. It's just everything is just hay.
Queen Elizabeth I had a nephew named Sir John Harrington of Somerset, who was banished from her court.
John,
that's an old name.
The toilet.
Oh, yeah. Banished from her court for writing risque stories. In 1596, while he was bored in exile, he began to fantasize about an invention of a flushing toilet. His toilet was the first.
That's a fantasy.
Yeah, he's like, gosh, I wish this
He's
would.
just sitting there like, if only I could just find a way to just have a toilet that flushes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. His toilet was the first flushing toilet with a large straight pipe for discharging waste. He called the toilet the Ajax, which is interesting because I didn't even put two and two together that his name was John.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Well, because I have a joke about that.
Yeah, I know.
My middle name is John.
Yeah.
And someone told me the other day at the show, they were like, oh, you know why that is, right? Or they call it the crapper. Because there's some guy named John Crapper who like kind of invented the modern day toilet, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you'll get into that. But yeah, the John.
Yeah. The toilet consisted of, this is John Harrington's toilet, consisted of a water closet with a pan and an opening at the bottom. It had handles, levers, and weights, and poured in water from a cistern. I think that's how you say that. Queen Elizabeth loved his invention so much that she wanted one built in her own house. The chamber pot was another form of toilet that could be used inside the house or at your bedside. Once a person was done using this, oftentimes it would be dumped outside through an open window onto the streets. The French had a term for warning passers-by about oncoming waste called garde en lieu. The term loo may have come from this phrase.
Oh, the loo.
Yeah, and I'm sure they said that a lot better than I did, but like Galdin loo.
Galdin loo.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually, you did better than I did.
Anna, we don't speak French.
We don't speak French. The Victorians had discovered that toilets could flush with greater velocity when gravity forced the water into the bowl.
Isn't that kind of the craziest thing about it? Is it's such like a... It's not like an insane contraption or an invention. It's just like we figured the physics allowed this to happen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They mounted tanks above the toilet on the wall with a cord for flushing, with a pull cord for flushing. Have you ever seen those kinds of toilets? Have you ever wondered in like old, because I love just like anything old houses, old ways of life. And I always wondered about the like tank that was up high and that little pull cord. I was always like, what is this? Why do they do that? Have you ever seen those?
I don't think so, no.
Really?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I always wondered what that was. And now I know.
Now you know.
Yeah. It was a Victorian style.
In Victorian style.
Love the Victorians. The first bathroom showroom was opened during the Victorian era in 1866 by a man named Thomas Crapper.
Crapper.
Yeah.
Oh, so, Thomas Crapper.
Thomas Crapper. And so actually what he did is
That's funny. So the guy that told me that was wrong. He said it was John Crapper.
It's not John. It's
He
Thomas.
said that's why they call it the John.
No. Well, that guy didn't do his research.
No, he did not.
So
trying to correct my jokes or give me pointers on it.
Yeah, no, Thomas. So what Thomas did was actually something no one else had done. Like everyone had toilets in their house in the 1800s. By the way, this is also, I believe, in England. So that was a little different. In America, people were still living like, I don't know.
Savages.
I almost said that, but then I was like, is that like not a...
Oh, yeah, I think maybe you're not supposed to... Well, I think you're not supposed to say it in certain terms.
Yeah, well, not towards Native Americans for sure.
Well, I didn't say that.
No, I know you didn't. I'm just saying I think that's how you're not supposed to say it.
It's okay. The 11 people who are going to hear this podcast, I don't think are going to cancel us.
Yeah. So anyway, this is not part of my notes, but so Thomas Crapper, was the one that was like, let's have a showroom so we can show people like different varieties.
He was like the first Home Depot.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
There's a Home Depot. There's a toilet aisle in Home Depot.
There is, yes. And so he had a showroom, and at first people were like, "This is not okay. These are private things that we should not all be like, gazing at together." And it became the norm.
Yeah.
And so he's the guy that kind of like made it like normal to go and pick your toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
In 1854, toilets had a flushing rim system, much like today, to help clear out waste from the sides of the toilet. So that has stuck around ever since.
1860s, you said? 1864?
1854.
1854.
Mm-hmm. The outhouse was a big hit in American homes that had no indoor plumbing. These were made by digging a deep hole in the ground, then building a small shed with a toilet seat. Outhouses were found in most rural American homes into the 1930s until electricity came into rural parts of the country, along with plumbing.
Yeah, that was something I was gonna say. It's an interesting thing is like, okay, like plumbing and toilets have been around for a lot long, because like you always see like I don't know, they'll show like old New York stuff, like old Irish families or whatever in like the early 1900s. And they all had like chamber pots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The chamber pot was a huge part
and they
of
just
history.
like dumped it out into the street.
Yes.
But like toilets and modern plumbing have been around since way before that, but it just took a while to catch up to everywhere.
Yeah. Well, because America was so new and everywhere else was so old, that it took a long time for that infrastructure to be put in place.
Interesting.
Yeah. In today's world, you can get fancy toilets with seat warmers, Bluetooth speakers, bidets, motion-activated lids, and so on.
I don't see why you would need a Bluetooth speaker.
I don't either. I mean, how long are you in there for?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you really need to like take a dump to Duran Duran?
I actually think it would be kind of cool if you had it so that you turned your light switch on and like nice classical music played, like at the moment the light switch went on.
As soon as it hits the water, it's just like dun 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 dun. I
actually pictured the light switch that was.
Okay, well that's less toilet and that's just bathroom feature.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's not toilet related actually at all.
Not at all.
I just think it would set the tone for like a nice. I don't know. You're gonna take a bubble bath. You don't have to do anything. You're just turn the light on.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess one day we'll have to get that when we get a colorful toilet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sources are familyhandyman.com, allthat'sinteresting.com, and historic/UK.com.
All right.
Yeah.
Toilets.
Toilets.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
been around for a lot longer than I guess I realized.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna look something up while you're talking.
very happy that we have them.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that those are standard.
Aren't you glad we're not still using the chamber pot?
Oh, so happy, dude.
Yeah.
So happy. You know, it's interesting because like there's so many things that we could just like microanalyze for the modern world that we live in and complain about.
Mm-hmm.
But like we got running water, we got toilets, we got modern day plumbing, all that stuff. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Those are things that we don't even think about. But if you were to remove them, oh man, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever traveled a great deal or you've been on the road in between rest stops or gas stations.
Yeah.
I mean,
road trips, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yes.
being deprived of those basic things sometimes, then you
Yes.
start to realize like
Yeah.
how great it is that we just have those things.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
even to like someone we take running water for granted.
Oh, I actually
We just
thought
flip a little
about.
handle
Yes.
and water just comes out. I don't
yes.
even know where it comes from. It's just there.
I took a nice long hot shower the other day, and I actually thought about that because I watched 90 Day Fiance, and there's a girl that lives in the Philippines, and she's on like the newest season, and she bathes from a bucket,
Yeah.
and it's really sad that like some people have to live like that, and we're over here just like taking like 45-minute hot showers, not even realizing that like that's a luxury. Like some people don't get to experience that at all.
Oh, 100%. Well, one thing that I learned when I did Vans Warped Tour, throughout the entire tour, we were raising money for access to clean water for people throughout the world. And we actually raised enough money to build a well in Ghana, in Africa.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
And I learned a lot about that. I did an interview on the radio about it in Seattle. It was over 600 million people across the world
That didn't have access.
do not have
Wow.
daily access to
Wow.
fresh, clean water.
See,
600 million people.
I-
That's double the population of the United States.
I find that to be so sad that there are some people that are so rich, and they could help solve. And it's not their responsibility. But gosh, wouldn't it be nice to like have some kind of contribution to humanity if you had that kind of money?
Well, there are a few people that do that. Bill Gates famously has a very large organization in which he builds toilets to
Really?
Yeah, builds toilets
See, that's
in
awesome.
underprivileged countries and communities across the world.
That is such a big thing, though. Like
Yeah.
people don't realize, like that's a huge deal having like a nice toilet to use.
Plumbing, just in
Yeah,
general.
plumbing, yeah.
And that's one of his things. One of his things is a lot of people, they claim he's this evil whatever guy.
There's like conspiracy theories.
Lots
and
of
stuff.
them.
Yeah.
He's out there building toilets in Africa.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I don't see all these.
That's pretty
people-
admirable.
These other people claiming conspiracy theories. Who they're not out building
Is
toilets.
Elon Musk out there building
Is
toilets?
Jeff Bezos building toilets?
Or are they just changing the names of Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
All right, let's
Okay.
do it. Fun fact.
This is a very short fun fact. The word bidet comes from the French word that means small horse or pony.
Small horse.
Yeah, I guess. This is because
Can
of
you just have this small horse clean my ass a little bit more thoroughly? That's what a bidet does. That's weird.
You've never used a bidet, huh?
Never used a bidet. No, I never had an opportunity to. I've never been in an environment that has one.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
My
know.
grandma literally was like, "Have you used the bidet? Have you used it yet? You've got to use the bidet."
Yeah.
Finally, one time I was like, "All right, I'm gonna use the bidet, grandma."
Yeah.
So I did, and I was like, "This is actually kind of chill."
Have you heard about those crazy Japanese ones?
I don't know.
They've got like all the bells and whistles. They're supposedly like the best kind.
What
But
do
they're
they-
like
what
the
do they
real
do?
ones. It's not like one that you like a little thing that you install like on your toilet seat.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
they
the
have ones
whole
that
thing.
are built in. There's also the bidet that's like that's not attached to your toilet. Have you ever seen bathrooms where there's like another little porcelain
I have.
like bowl
Yes,
thingy?
yeah.
Yeah, those ones can be used to clean yourself afterwards. They can also be used to like clean your feet and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah. The horse and pony, whatever thing, this is because of the bidet's size and stature, and because traditional bidets look like a small porcelain horse, which a person would squat over.
Okay.
My sources are bidetgenius.com and wikipedia.com.
All right. That truly was just a fun fact.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the fun facts we do are like a little additional deep dive into
Yeah,
something.
they are a little
Yeah.
bit sometimes. Yeah.
That was just a fun little fact.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep,
The
bidet.
pony.
Yeah, the pony.
We got to get a pony.
We got to get I actually wouldn't mind getting a pony.
We're talking the bidet here.
We're
not
talking
a real
the
pony,
bidet,
right?
yes.
Because I feel
Well,
like you
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
mind
mind
getting an actual pony too.
Both, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess The first things that we need to get if and when we ever come into money: cool, fancy designer toilet, a pony, within the actual bidet, and an actual pony, yeah. And then my wife,
and a light switch that does like Mozart, like the moment you turn on the light.
Okay, so all I got to do is get those things, and my wife will be happy finally.
Heated seats are kind of cool too.
Well, that's the Japanese ones. They have all these like crazy heated seats. It
doesn't get cold enough here actually, so that's a little ridiculous.
I don't think I would like a heated seat.
I have no idea. Actually, that's
every time you sit down on a warm toilet seat, it is not a fun feeling.
Well, because someone else's butt warmed it, which is disturbing.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I feel violated whenever that happens. I'm like,
I want a cold. Give me a cold toilet seat.
Yes, that way I know it's fresh.
It's fresh. It hasn't been bare ass sat on recently.
So gross.
That's the worst. When you sit down and you're like, oh, someone else just did this too.
Yes. And you don't know that person.
No.
It's like, ugh.
Mystery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I use the toilet seat
warm
things.
Mystery ass.
Also, depending on the bathroom, like public bathrooms, I'll squat over that. I'll hover over that toilet seat because I'm like, no, this is.
Well, that's one thing where women have a disadvantage as far as men are concerned.
Yeah, we know.
I do my best to not have to use a public toilet in that regard.
Well, if it's going to be a real quick pee, but I mean, sometimes if you are, on your monthly whatever for a woman, you have no choice and you have to sit down.
Sure.
Because it's hard to do all that without sitting. But
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Is just imagine. But for me, I get to use a urinal, which is nice.
Lucky you.
I would have liked some information on the urinal. That's a slightly different invention.
It is.
It's a toilet, but it's a variation.
I did see one thing about a urinal that was very old. It was, I think, sometime in the 1800s, maybe even late 17s, but probably 18 because I don't think they had anything like that in the 1700s. And it's still in Scotland, and it's beautiful. It was crafted beautifully, and it's still in working order, and it's really cool. And it's actually like this like round thing in the middle, and there's urinals all around it. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's some weird things about urinals that I think obviously women are not aware of. There's various different types and styles or whatever, and some of them are like just real bad. Just you get splashback, which is disgusting. Yeah,
gross.
And then some places like older baseball stadiums, for example, it's just a trough.
Ew, what?
A community, like a trough with no doors or anything, and everyone is
Are you kidding?
I swear to God, I'm not making that up.
I've never heard of something like that.
And then in places like Tijuana, like when you go to Tijuana, same thing. Troughs.
Really?
Trough, but they fill it with ice.
Why?
Apparently the ice has something to do with like
smell?
The smell, and also because it melts naturally, it's like naturally flushes.
Whoa, weird. Okay. Well.
But there's nothing worse than the trough.
Yeah.
The trough is
weird.
Just,
I didn't know anything about that. Also, I think the reason I didn't go into the urinal section of toilets is because I'm a girl. Yeah. And that's not my life. I don't ever deal with a urinal, so I didn't even think twice about it.
Right. Yeah. It's a difference.
Somebody texting both of us?
Oh, my mom's calling me.
Oh.
We'll call her back.
Nancy, we're recording our podcast.
We're recording a podcast, okay? All right. Well, that's it. Toilets. Bidets, ponies, the pony. I think the name will be something pony related.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. But I think we probably just lost all the room on that memory card over there. I think I heard a camera shut off. So I guess it's time for us to wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please follow us on Spotify. Subscribe on Apple Podcast. And follow us on Instagram at According to My Wife. You can follow me at Rick Martinelli Comedy. You can follow Babs at babs.martinelli. And if you would like to come check out any of my stand-up comedy dates, please go to rickmartinellicomedy.com and come see me tell jokes about the John, because I got some.
Oh, and the John is because of Queen Elizabeth's nephew, not
Thomas Crapper.
It's right. Yeah.
That is why they call it the Crapper. And I think that's why they call it taking a crap.
Oh, wow. Yes. Whoa.
We're uncovering gems over here.
We sure are.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Toodles.